This is the distillation unit that I have built myself based off of a prototype that I built with the Bellingham Technical College Process Technology project I was a part of this summer. Down here I have a hot plate that I got from Walmart for $10. I can't say that I really like it. It turns the heat on and off, which makes the production of the hydrosol intermittent. But it's the best I have right now. It's also very small compared to the size of the pressure cooker. I'm not sure the size of the pressure cooker, 16, 20 quarts, let's guess. I bought it for $10 used at a thrift store. It does have a pressure gauge, but it always reads 0 because the pressure is being relieved as the steam raises out where the black insulation is. My high-tech rock is just holding down a safety relief pressure valve that is common to the Presto pressure cookers, and I have found that's just the easiest way to deal with that thing. Otherwise it pops up and down and I lose a lot of steam through it. Here there's a bulkhead fitting that is going through the lid. On the underside is an opening where the steam is coming up through this fitting, through this 1/4-inch copper tubing, which I have covered with insulation because it is burning hot as the steam is coming through there. And so it is still steam probably into that second coil that is in the cool water bucket. You can see that it's got the bubbles on it. They're starting to condense. I'm using this fan as a heat exchanger to blow across the top of the water. The top, about down to here, is warm to the touch on this plastic bucket. As I go down, it's cool to the touch. And this fan is keeping the heat just very steadily located right here. It's blowing it away very efficiently. I'm using this wood divider as a way to keep the heat over on the heat side of the pot and to keep the cool air on the cooling water tank side. And that's working really well. So I have the board propped up about to the edge of the fan, so I'm capturing all the fan action as it's going across the water. Again, there's another swedge-like bulkhead fitting. On the inside of this, I have it backed with 2 rubber washers and then a stainless steel washer to help hold them in place. On the front side, I have 1 rubber gasket and then the stainless steel washer to help hold it in place. Tight and tight. I haven't had any leakage problems. And then I have this 1/4-inch copper tubing that I've bent to create a spigot, and the condensate is dripping through here. This was the steam that came up through the black insulated tube, went through the cooling water, and now is coming out as hydrosol, which is oil mixed in with the water from the steam. I'm doing oranges right now, and this is my second container, and this container does not seem to have much oil in it. It probably has a little bit on the top, but not a lot. It's mostly hydrosol, but that's fine because it's great to use as a deodorizer in a bathroom, so very useful. For this batch, I'm still experimenting to figure out the oranges. So I used 14 whole oranges that I first peeled and then kind of pulled apart the bodies of the oranges and put it all in with the peel part on top, because the last time I did oranges I had problems with some of the bits coming up through the tubing. So I put the pulpy part at the bottom, the orange peels on the top. So for 14 oranges, whole oranges, I'm guessing that I am going to get at the most 10 grams of oil. I haven't separated it out yet, but it will be enough oil that matched with another batch or two. There'll be enough that I can use it to scent a batch of soap. I'm also planning to use some of the hydrosols that I've been creating from other products, such as cedar, as the base for soap when I mix the water and the lye together. So this is my setup. With this particular pressure cooker, given the size and the insufficiency of the heating element, it takes me approximately 2 hours really to get the water and the plant product heated up enough to start producing hydrosol. Once it gets going, it chugs along just fine. So I am really pleased with the fan. It's really made it a lot easier. I used to scoop out the hot water and then replace it, or mess around with making big ice cubes, and it required constant surveillance. This I can leave and walk away, do something else, come back and check on it. The biggest thing I need to keep track of is just that my water level isn't getting too high. So I'll pull back here so you can see the unit more in its entirety. There we go. Also inside the crock pot, I've been experimenting with different kinds of strainers. Right now what I have is a typical splatter screen that you put over a fry pan, and I bent the handle up. It's covered with plastic, or I assume it's just some kind of a plastic, and so far it's held up fine. It hasn't melted or anything. But I bent it toward the center of the pot, and that makes it easier to get the screen back out, and then I piled the plant material on top of that screen. So that is everything for now. Goodbye.